everyone. This is GTV Africa Live at Great Life Scholars Academy. The students are observing Press Day. Today, some of the students are going to be casting views, giving report of what happens around them. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, GTV Africa, and like our Facebook page, GTV Africa Services.
Good morning, viewers. My name is John Carroll, and this is the Great Life Scholars Academy Press Day News, coming to you live from the Great Life Scholars Assembly Ground. Here with me are Jegede Oindamola. Good morning. Adaihe Godson. Harmony Pindar and Grace Uwivri. First, the headlines. U.S. pushes for legalization of homosexuality in the world. Great Life Scholars Academy to observe Old School Day. Lekki Tollgate reopening threatened. Great Life Scholars Academy joins the rest of the world to observe World Read Aloud Day. Now the news in detail. U.S. pushes for legalization of homosexuality in the world. The just sworn-in 45th President of the United States of America has sent a circular to all U.S. embassies across the world, asking them to make sure that the United States of America diplomacy and foreign assistance promote and protect the human rights of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex LGBTQI. He stated that the U.S. will do everything within her power to punish any government that do not support this community of people. This could mean Nigeria and other countries that do not support the LGBTQI community will begin to experience difficulties in trading with other countries of the world, as the U.S., under the leadership of former President Barack Obama, blocked all means of international trade for ammunition for the Nigerian army in their fight against Boko Haram during the tenure of Goodluck Jonathan, because Nigeria refused to legalize homosexuality. Thank you. I will hand you over now to Oindamola Jegede for the next segment of the news. Over to you, Oin.
Thank you, Carol. The secondary section of Great Life Scholars Academy will be having their Old School Day on the 19th of February 2021. Teachers and students have been urged to participate fully in the upcoming event. The proprietors, while addressing the students during the morning assembly, encouraged everyone to be a part of the old school. Old school clothes are to be worn on the day of the presentation. To give us more information about the presentation is Mrs. Bolwatife Olamiko. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, 16th February has been set aside for the Old School Day. What should we be expecting?
All right. For the Old School Day, the expectation is going to be very high, whereby students, pupils, staff are going to be dressed in the old form. What do we mean by this? During the old time, you will see teachers with the male teachers with their knicker, long socks, their shoes, and very big, long cane. So all these things should be expected at that time. Okay.
Lastly, ma'am, of what importance is the Old School Day in the lives of the students?
Well, the importance of Old School Day is just a kind of a fun in this time, bringing back the memory of the past events, what has happened. That time, even though I was not even born at that time, even most of our parents were not born at that time, but one of the important things at that time, the inculcation of discipline. That time, the moment you see a teacher with long cane, you will run. But we are not disciplined now. They have left us. No more discipline. So we are trying to, it's not all about beating we are talking about. But what we are saying is that the memory of that past must still be brought in our own this present time so that we can have the spirit of discipline. So we are bringing out the spirit of discipline back to our today's education in schools. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You're highly welcome.
You're welcome.
In other news, corporate corporate social responsibility by Great Lights. Not mask use against dust than a preventive measure against COVID-19 in massacre. It has become a common scheme to see people on motorcycles having their face masks on. It was observed that people tend to neglect their face masks once they get to their destination. The press club, this is owing to the dusty conduction of the roads in massacre. It is alarming that people are choosing to protect themselves more from dust than from the killer coronavirus disease. The Press Club of Great Light Scholars Academy hereby uses this medium to advise the public to have their face masks on at all times. That's all from me. Back to you, Carol.
Thank you, Oyin. Now over to Adaihe Dodson.
Thank you, Carol. Crime report. A young man was said to be an indigent of Jero Primary Massacre. He was apprehended while attempting to burgle a provision shop not far from Great Light Scholars Academy on Monday, 25th of January 2021. He was seen coupled to an electric pole by some young men who wore military-style uniform. Although different versions of the reason he was coupled arose, at the time of writing this report, the authentic reason remained unconfirmed. And that's the crime report we have for you today. It's back to you, Carol.
Thank you. Still in our bulletin, Lekki Toll Gate reopening threatened, and GLSA joins the rest of the world to observe World Read Aloud Day. Now let's join Harmony Pinda for the other segments of the news. Welcome, Harmony.
Thank you, Carol. In line with the World Read Aloud Day that was held all over the world, Great Light Scholars Academy joined the rest of the world in participating in commemoration of the said event. It was held on the 3rd and 10th of this month. Respectively, the nursery section, primary and secondary section participated, and it was highly commended by the parents as they praised the school for such initiative, as it will encourage other students and other reading skills will be sharpened. Back to you, Karen.
Thank you. Now to bring us up to speed with the GLSA test week is Grace Ovivri. Over to you, Grace.
Thank you, Carol. To add to the news outlined so far, and in line with the school's first term academic calendar, it becomes most necessary to remind the pupils, students, teachers, and the management that next week has been declared test week in addition to Old School Day, and this will all take place here in Great Light Scholars Academy. In line with this, the students are requested to marry their books or notes in order to pass the test in flying colors. The pupils and students are expected to read their notes and write the test on their own, as exam malpractice has become a crime and also a sin, and is highly punishable and prohibited here in Great Light Scholars Academy. For the teachers and the management, all hands must be on deck to ensure the success of the test and other events or activities scheduled for the week respectively. Also, enclosed here is a reminder to everyone that the midterm break comes up on the 26th day of February 2021, a day after the last day of all tests to be conducted respectively. The test will be held from Friday, the 19th day of February 2021 to Thursday, the 25th day of February 2021. That is all from here. Carol, take it away.
Thank you very much for that piece of information. Lekki Toll Gate reopening threatened. Lekki Toll Gate, a hotspot for the NSAS protest which swept through the country late last year, has not been functioning as the Lagos state government intended after the massacre of Nigerians, which took place on the 20th of October 2020. The Lagos state government, however, have scheduled the reopening of the Lekki Toll Gate for Saturday, 13th February 2021. But many Nigerians, mostly youth, have taken to social media to threaten to stage another protest. According to those threatening to stage a protest, come Saturday, nothing as reopening of the toll gate should be heard at the moment, especially when no one has been held accountable for the killing of unarmed protesters who marched against police brutality on the night of October 2020. The push for another protest is currently trending on a social media community called Twitter with the hashtag Occupy Lekki Toll Gate. To end the news, here is a recap of the headlines. U.S. pushes for legalization of homosexuality in the world. Great Light Scholars Academy to observe Old School Day. Lekki Tollgate reopening threatened. Great Light Scholars Academy joins the rest of the world to observe World Read Aloud Day. That is all from Great Light Scholars Academy Press Day News broadcast. But before we leave, here is our quotable quote for today. In the words of Mr. Paul, the English teacher, we are light and all we can do is to shine. I am John Caro. Thank you.
That is all for today, the Press Day. From Great Light Scholars Academy, I'm Beniga Olamiko. Till I come your way next time, peace be unto you.